a Torah service tonight. We are skipping many of the other psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, jumping to Lechadodi. This is a Sephardic setting, but I have sung this with you before, and so I know that you know this. Lechadodi, pages 138 and 139, and as usual, stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lechadodi likrat kala, bnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lechadodi likrat kala, bnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lechadodi likrat kala.
Bottom of 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. 160 in English. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming, to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. V'shamro, page 162.
Anyone
Torah carrier, Linda Karp, our president, and Nat, if you'll come over here and wait for after the Hakafah to help prepare the scroll to be read. We continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of Torah, page 362. Page 366.
Adonai
streaming tonight, is that correct?
Sort of. We have audio and sometimes we have video.
So I can come from behind the
You may.
podium. Okay. It took me a couple of moments to get it. At a meeting with a sorority, thousands of checks written for $19.18. 106 years. That's all. In the long history of our country, 106 years that women have had the right to vote. After the right to vote, still it was not until the 1970s that every state allowed women to get credit cards in their own names. It is unbelievable how recently this has been. To some extent, it is also a question of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I remember at the Women's March in 2017, more people than I have ever seen in one place in my life. At one point, we were on the mall in Washington, Julie, Talia, and I, so boxed in with people that we could not move in one direction or another. Over 1 million people on the mall. And of all the amazing signs we saw, I will never forget one of them, which read, "I can't believe we have to do this all over again." This week's Torah portion contains one of the truly most powerful lines in the entire Torah. As you will hear in a moment from Numbers chapter 27, as the people are on the verge of entering the land, 5 women come forward. They are sisters, they are siblings, and they say, "Our father had no sons. Why should we be landless? Why should we be homeless? Why should land not be apportioned to us just because he had no sons?" And Moses responded, he had no idea what to say. So Moses brings their plea before God, and the answer from God is 3 words in Hebrew. Ken benot, so 4 words. Ken benot tzlofchad dofrat. The plea of the daughters of Tzlofchad is just. Women came forward and the world was changed. And a ruling is issued that women could inherit if there was no man for the job. If there was no son. It wasn't fully equality. And there was a step back at the end of Numbers. Don't be under any illusion that there was not. Men came and complained and said, look, the woman's going to inherit, but then she'll get married. And like, what if she marries somebody from outside of this tribe? And so there's an adjustment, there's a step backwards. At the end of Numbers, it says, okay, the daughters of Tzlofchad can inherit this land that was their father's, but they have to marry inside the tribe. Well, we've got a ways to go here. ever faced a moment when you've been faced with a new situation? You hadn't thought of it before, but the answer, once you thought of it, was so obvious that people shouldn't have to sit in the back of the bus because of their color. That couples should be able to marry if they love each other. That families shouldn't be ripped apart and separated, even if you think that they shouldn't have come here in the first place. Ken, benot slofchad dovrot. The plea is right. It is correct. It is just. Think of those moments in your life. Whatever your beliefs, whatever your positions, think of the moment when there's just been utter clarity about something that you just hadn't thought about before. This isn't political. This isn't right wing or left wing. Israel has a right to defend itself. If you had doubts about Israel beforehand, it was a moment of clarity on October 7th. There are moments in our lives which shake us and wake us. The plea for justice is right. For the honor of the Aliyah, I'm honored to call a woman who has been a physician, cutting edge in her career and in the work that she has done. Ta'amod, and notice, by the way, in the Hebrew of this week's portion, you get something you don't get that often. What do you get grammatically? The female plural, right? If I call a man up to the Torah, what do I say? Ya'amod. If I call a woman up to the Torah, as I'm about to do, I'm calling Phyllis, Ta'amod. But if Phyllis and 50 women came with her, and there was one man, what do you say? Ya'amdu, the male plural. When my mother became bat mitzvah, as an adult, there were 23 women and one man in that class. And Rabbi Mindy Portnoy, who passed away a couple of months ago, and in fact is related to Cantor Marshall Portnoy, Rabbi Mindy Portnoy wouldn't give in and let the grammar triumph and make it male, so she forever after that class was called the benot/bar. She wouldn't let the one man turn the whole thing masculine just because there was one man there. So listen in the Hebrew several times in what I am reading. I am going to use the female plural. And the female plural ending is not u, but na. Right from the very beginning, the opening word of chapter 27, vatikravna, and y'all women, y'all, plural, y'all, female, came forward, right? For now, ta'amod la'aliyah HaTorah, ta'amod chayat bat Avraham ve'Esther lichvod HaTorah, for the honor of the Aliyah, Dr. Phyllis Perkins. Let me find the right spot here. And it's right on the top of the column, Vatikrovna. Up there. Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. benot Zlofchad ben Chefer ben Gilad ben Machir ben Menashe lemishpachat Menashe ben Yosef. Be'eleh shmot benotav, Machla, Noah, v'Chogla, Umilka, v'Tirza. And the daughters of Tzolofchad, the son of Chefer, the son of Gilad, the son of Machir, the son of Menashe, of the tribe of Menashe, the son of Joseph, came forward. And here are their names: Machla and Noah and Chogla and Milka and Tirza. V'ta'amodna lifnei Moshe v'lifnei Elazar HaKohen lifnei HaNesi'im v'kol ha'edah petach ohel moed lemor. And they stood before Moses and before Elazar the priest and al Adonai ba'adat Korach. And he was not amongst those who died in the wilderness at the instance of God as part of the rebellion of Korach. Ki v'cheto met. He died for his own sin. Uvanim lo hayu lo. And he, like Tevya, he didn't have any sons. Lama yigara Shem Avinu mitoch mishpachto ki ein lo ben. Why should our father's name disappear from our clan because he had no son? Tna lanu achuzah b'toch achei Avinu. Give us an inheritance from the midst, from within our father's brothers. Vayikrev Moshe et mishpatan lifnei Adonai. And Moses brought their plea before the Eternal. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, and God said to Moses, Lemor, Ken benot Tzlofchad dovot. The plea of the daughters of Tzlofchad is just. Netan titen lehem achuzah nachala betoch achei avihem. Va'avarta et nachala avihen lahem. Give a portion of the inheritance of their father's land to them, and they will inherit part of their father's. Untatem et nachalato la'achiv. You shall pass his inheritance on to his brothers. V'imein lo achim. Untatem et nachalato la'achei aviv. And if he doesn't have any uncles, and if he doesn't have any, other immediately obvious male relatives, just go find the nearest relative. Vayirash ota, and that person shall inherit it. Vayita livnei Yisrael lechukat mishpat ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe. And this shall be the law that Moses was commanded by God.
אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו.
Mishaberach, Cynthia Baylor, David Wetzel, Sonia Kaplan, Rabbi Bradley Bliefeld, Jill Wood. Other names in the prayer for healing.
Mary.
Gerald and Kevin Kennedy.
Ruth Harper.
Brittany, Barry, Jen, Susan.
Eileen Marecki, Laura and Marty Smith. Lisa.
Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh Cholim. We praise you, O God, who helps us heal, who brings us comfort. Page 371.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom. Everybody that's here, and to those that are watching from home, hopefully you are watching, that it is working. If not, you can hear us. I certainly want to welcome Spencer Reichman here. Y'all really enjoy it. I know. Beautiful, beautiful voice. We love the summer down here, and we love the beach. And we don't want to see the summer go by quickly. But I know we are looking forward to having you come and share the high holidays with us. Your beautiful, beautiful voice. Thank you for coming here today. And thank you to Tom, our soloist, for playing. Thank you so much. Please join us following services. For candles and kiddush, it will be in the Weiss lobby immediately down the steps. Shabbat morning study will be at 9:15 tomorrow, only on Zoom. On August the 2nd and the 9th, Rabbi Weiss will be leading services as Rabbi Feshbach and Julie will be on vacation. I know where they're going, but I don't know if I'm supposed to tell.
Happy to have people visit.
Okay, I know they'll be up in Cape Cod, yes, and we wish you a wonderful vacation. We will miss you, and we'll look forward to hearing about it when you come back. So safe journeys there and back. The next J Place book group will meet on Wednesday, August the 28th. The selection is The Boston Girl by Anita Diamant. Okay. And we are having our next fall festival. It will be our second one on September the 22nd. It will be here from 1 to 6 p.m. There are lots of people working on this year. There are going to be lots of things that we are adding to the success we had last year. So save that date and make sure that you come. If there are any new members, potential members in here today that we don't see too often, please let Howard Gross, Howard Wave, let him know he is on our membership committee and would love to say hello to you and welcome you. And so would I. So if you're new, please let me know who you are. And I think that's it. Yep, that's everything. So have a good week and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As is the custom of our congregation, should you choose to do so, should you feel comfortable doing so, we ask that you rise as we call the name of a loved one so that we may know that you are here in mourning and in memory. Then we will, as is the custom in most Reformed synagogues, rise as a congregation as a whole for the Kaddish Yatom, for the mourner's Kaddish prayer itself. There are stars whose radiance is visible on this earth, though they have long since ceased to exist. There are people whose light and whose warmth continue to shine for us, though they are no longer among us. These stars which shine in the dark of the night, they light the way for humankind. We remember at this time those of our congregation's beloved whose yahrzeit occurs on this Shabbat: Mark Beitman, Fanny Bernson, Irving Bernstein, Anne Brown, Thomas Rivas Bullen, Israel Fink, Abraham Fisher, Lillian Rosenstein Fox, D. Patricia Garfield, David Goldberg, Alan Goldberg, Adam Hirschfeld, Jeanette Hollander, Joseph Lichtenstein, Maisie, Lillian Zucker, Ida Zwicker, Morris Zwicker. During this, before I continue, are there any others here to say Kaddish for someone whose name I did not mention, or a name I may have mispronounced? During this period of Shloshim, the 30 days following their deaths, we mention Dr. Ruth Westheimer, and we add as well, because I believe the custom is only to say Kaddish after you are buried, but I believe the burial was almost immediate, but just passed away yesterday, Rabbi Ever of Road of Shalom in Atlantic City. who the funeral was already yesterday at 6:30, and he was flown to Israel. I believe the burial has taken place already, so it would be customary to include his name now. The memories of all of our loved ones are with us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn to page 598, and we rise as a congregation as a whole for Kaddish Yatom for the morning. Uvachayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabam varach le'olam omei amayim. Yitpo birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma imru amen. Yehei shlom b'ramav, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort all the bereaved among us and wherever they may be, all those who are suffering the pain of loss everywhere, and together let us say, Amen. In a few moments, but I have one dilemma, and my dilemma is that I must not have updated this outline completely. My note here says closing TBD.
Any key. En Kelohenu, en Kadonenu, en Kemagenu, en Kamoshienu. Hey!